We want to impact every member of the church that we can. We want to bring a joy and an excitement to the faith that is visible and tangible, that people can touch and experience and make their connection with the saints and their connection with their faith just light up in different ways every time, and that they can share with other people.
In 2017, Scott and Elizabeth Williams started Sock-Religious, an Indianapolis-based company with the aim to bring joy and evangelize through fun socks. The business quickly took off and is now the world's largest Catholic sock company, recently celebrating its 100,000th order.
So every sock we design, we try to make sure that we speak to the devotion and the details of that devotion, the thing that makes the relationship with that saint or that or special for that person. So with Louis and Zelly, the sock on the top has gears that represent Louis as a watchmaker and the actual images of gears from watches, but the bottom is a lace pattern that was actually designed by Zelly, and we were able to replicate in the sock because she was a lace patterner as well.
Sock-Religious is now under the parent company Catholic Concepts, along with the brands Live Liturgically, 4 Marks Printing, and States of Faith.
We get to hear the stories of how our products have impacted people and what they've done. I personally recently was traveling and was stopped by a TSA officer outside the airport who cried to me about just the image of the rosary on my shirt and seeing that and what it represented, and just talking about her faith and what the rosary means to her and how passionate she was to be able to see somebody just proud enough to wear that and share it with the world.
All the products at Catholic Concepts are made in-house by a team of almost 30. The faithful Catholics not only sell high-quality saint socks that include devotions and depictions of popular saints, but also make and donate socks for the homeless and those in need.
Every day we get to find new and unique ways to serve the church. We just make really fun and joyful products, and they start conversations and evangelize. And I've spent a lot of time in my life focused on evangelization, and we have products that make it fun and make it easy.
Along with socks, shirts are another big seller for the company, which even does custom orders for parishes and events. Additionally, the Catholic group sells faith-based mugs and stickers.
I think if you have an opportunity to purchase products from a company that truly represents your values and the values of the faith and the values of the church, it gives that company an opportunity to do more.
All right, well, we have the very special pleasure today of being down in Indianapolis visiting Sock-Religious, and we have with us co-founder, Mr. Scott Williams. How are you today, Scott?
Outstanding. How are you, Nick?
Doing very well. Just so everyone knows at start, we did not coordinate this, but we are in fact wearing the same socks, St. Joseph socks. I hope
we're twins.
Yeah, I hope everyone would get a pair. One of the greatest saints in the church, someone to very much seek the intercession of. So I'd hope everyone would get those, and Mary, and heck, all the socks. How many did you say you're at now?
We're approaching 90, I think now. Kind of unique designs, yeah.
That's great. So how do you? So the first thing when I ever heard Sock-Religious, my instant thought was sacrilegious, but a play on words. So is that true, and how'd you come up with that name?
It is definitely a play on words. We often say that it's not sacrilegious to wear Sock-Religious. We like to kind of define our target audience as Catholics that take their faith seriously, but not themselves. So somebody that can have fun and laugh, but also pray and evangelize and take the Great Commission real serious. So we came up from the name. So originally it was called Holy Socks, which is kind of another fun phrase. But there was another company in the UK that had that name, and we had some confusion on website traffic and things like that. So very early on, we changed the name, and we were just looking for things that were fun and close to sock, and Sock-Religious was born.
So whenever you're coming with this idea to do socks, did people think, your family, your friends, did they think you were crazy when you were like, I'm gonna start selling socks?
Yeah. There is definitely some skepticism. So I was working full time for the Archdiocese of Indianapolis at the time, and I was looking for kind of a fun side project, make some extra money, but we didn't know how much of an impact that it would have and how much traction we would get from the brand. So it caught on pretty quickly, and we realized even from the very first day in business that we found a niche audience that really enjoyed our product, and we had a proven concept and kind of moved forward from there. But before we made that initial order of socks, there was a bit of skepticism of what would we do with all of the extra socks. But in reality, we sold out of them in just a few hours. So
wow. So how did it start? What were the first steps? How did you? It's grown so rapidly. So how did it start?
Yeah, so we it was right before the National Catholic Youth Conference, which was hosted in Indianapolis, and I was someone that loved wearing fun socks. I wore a shirt and tie to work most days, kind of like you, and socks were my fun thing. So I'd wear donut socks on National Donut Day, or I'd wear my American flag socks, and we thought, well, instead of celebrating these national holidays. Not that we shouldn't celebrate Independence Day. That's a pretty important one. But what if we celebrated the feast days in the church? So you can wear your St. Michael socks on the Feast of the Archangels, or you can wear your St. Joseph socks on the Feast of St. Joseph the Worker, and be able to just kind of start some conversations from there.
Yeah. So personally, what are some of your more favorite designs? Which socks are you most interested in or most proud of?
Yeah, I mean, St. Joseph was one of the early ones that we did. It's St. Joseph with the child Jesus, and from both a business standpoint and kind of a spiritual standpoint. And as a family man, as a father and a husband, I've always had a strong devotion to St. Joseph, in particular St. Joseph the Worker. So it's one of my favorites and ones that I probably dig out of my sock drawer the most often. But there's some other really, really awesome ones, and I tend to be in favor a lot of the newest ones that we're doing too, just because we're excited about the production of them and things like that.
Yeah. So tell us about what it is like to make a sock, the process, because we joked coming in here, it's like, oh, I thought I'd see some old ladies in the back knitting some socks. And so what is the process actually like?
Yeah, so we started manufacturing them in-house a little over 2 years ago now, I think. And ultimately it starts with the idea of what sock we're gonna make, right? So we have all of the saints and devotions that we could possibly imagine, and there's still a lot of really good designs out there that we haven't even skimmed the surface yet. But what we usually do is we have a meeting room right over here that we get our team together in, and we just do a kind of a brainstorming session. So I'm going to give you an example. Our most recent one, not most recent, but during Easter, we started making an Easter Vigil sock. So we all kind of got into the room and we said, all right, when you think of Easter Vigil, what are the things that you think of? And we started kind of playing through the liturgy, and the sock design that we came up with had a bonfire on the toe that, the darkness into the light, and it had a bunch of candles that you would spread the fire throughout the church. So it goes from bonfire to candles spreading to the light of Christ, and it has this big Easter Vigil candle on the front of it. So just a collection of thoughts and prayers, and everybody kind of that wants to comes into that room and puts their 2 cents in, and then our design team says, these are all really great ideas. What can we actually make? Typically in our socks, we have some limitations of the number of colors that we can use. Our socks are not printed on, they're actually knit into the design. So we use different colors of yarn to knit into the fabric the design that we're wanting to. So we usually stick to around 6 colors that we're working from. And our talented design team puts together basically every pixel of that sock is a stitch in the sock, for lack of a better term. And then we kind of procure the yarn and program it into the machine. And then we have some amazing technicians that know how to make socks way better than I do. And the end result is a phenomenal sock.
Yeah, and the quality, as you were mentioning to me, has gotten a lot better too. Like playing around with that, because at first, like I've been a sock of the month member for a long time now, and so I've definitely seen like the playing with that, like some of the socks being a little thinner, some a little thicker, and now having this more like consistent sock, and they just like watching the thing, all the steps, all the details, and then just every little thing you guys go through to make sure that you're getting a good quality item it's very impressive, because you normally think of bigger businesses skimping everywhere they can in order to just get the product out, but also make it as time and cost efficient and all. But you guys seem like really put in a lot of quality.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we first started, we didn't know what we didn't know, and the original company that we worked with basically just made promotional products for companies that wanted to get swag to their team or whatever. So that was kind of and we didn't know anything about what makes up a sock and the consistency of how that was made. So over the years, we've learned a lot and have grown and figured out what fabrics can, one, give us the best design without sacrificing the quality and the integrity of the sock. Because at the end of the day, we sell a premium product, and it's the price reflects that. It's not a cheap sock. But we want it to be a quality product that people are proud to wear, that are comfortable and they enjoy wearing it, but also have fun along the way, and can maybe also tell the lives of the saints to the people they encounter.
Yeah, and so take me through how you make the accompanying card, because all the socks come with a card that gives a nice description of the saint. Like what goes into the process of picking the saint, and then how is the card gonna be set up? Yeah,
absolutely. So we like to say that our socks are socks that start conversations. So when I worked in youth ministry for a long time, the part of evangelization that I personally found to be the hardest was simply starting the conversation. I feel like the Holy Spirit can kind of take over from there and work in the lives of stories and journeys and everything else. But the getting over that hump of just starting the conversation, to me, was always the hardest hurdle to overcome. So we like to make socks that kind of deliver on that. With the designs, whether you're in the airport and you're doing your crossword and you can see St. Joseph popping out of your ankle. But what we do is, on the back of the tags for every socks that we make, we tell a little bit about the lives of the saints. We give some key facts like feast days, what they're the patron of, and then give a real short, pocket-sized bio of the saint or the devotion. Because a lot of times what happens is our socks are given as gifts to people, and they might not know a whole lot about the saint that they're getting, but we try to give them a little bit of ammo for evangelization.
Yeah, and they say normally, your saints pick you, or whatever, the saints that are coming through your life. So I can see that, that's a way of them possibly doing that is, grandma gives sock to kid, and all of a sudden that's the start of a relationship of intercession with that saint. So it's beautiful, and it's definitely it's a neat thing, because that is something people notice a lot. I mean, fun socks are a big thing, and I've had it quite often because I wear them basically every day. Even people I work with that are really Catholic, it's always like, oh, what sock are you wearing today?
There you go.
and so it is definitely a cool conversation starter, especially to someone who isn't even of the faith, because they're just like, what the heck is that on your sock? Who is that person, and what are they doing?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, it gives kind of a new context to the runaway question of who are you wearing, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So how have you, besides the grace of God and just doing a great job, you've been able to just expand and grow rapidly? How did you what do you attribute that to? How did you do it?
I think a big part of it is the team of people that we have. Like we've been able to develop and work with a unique group of people that have leaned into what we're doing and believe in our mission and have carried us through. So, we also spend a lot on marketing and social media ads, because it's one of those metrics that has an intangible effect to it, because what we're able to do is we're able to pay for ads to, obviously we want to sell our socks, but we also get to put the lives of the saints in front of people in the digital marketplace. And in that, digital town square where it might be a small ad, but it brings holiness in someone's scroll on their phone, right? So I think that's a part of it. We listen to our customers. We ask for we call it feedback around here, not feedback. But we are enjoying our faith. We're listening to the guidance and the Holy Spirit. We pray in our meetings and our conversations, and we ask for that vision of how do we get out of the way so that God can work through the company that we're building to build His kingdom.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is I think that there's a lot of people out there of faith that want to support good things.
Yeah.
And then there's just a lot of areas where those products don't match up with what else is out there.
Right.
And you guys have there's nobody who makes better socks.
Yeah.
Like you guys are completely with any competition that possibly does that. And so I think that's a great thing and a big reason why, because I think people do want to support those things, and you found out how to be right up there with any kind of competition.
Yeah, absolutely. We try not to sacrifice in any area by any sense of the imagination.
And so, it started with socks, but tell us about the newer expansions. What else have you guys been able to do since just doing socks?
Yeah, so we started as soccer elitists, but we realized that there is probably a cap to the number of socks in the Catholic market that we can sell. And the name Soccer Elitist kind of puts us into a corner that brand kind of zeroes in on. But Catholic Concepts has become the parent company, if you will, of several other brands. So Soccer Elitist is a brand now by Catholic Concepts. We also have a brand called States of Faith, which has every state outlined in the rosary. So here in Indiana, a lot of people are very proud of where they live, and they have the Indiana t-shirt that says home or something catchy about Indiana. We like to say that you can represent your faith and your state through that, but it also gives us the opportunity to really. I'm a big believer in local politics, and a lot can be done at the state level, and we want people to bring prayer into that time as well, and so that way we can kind of bring prayer into policy in some cases as well. Another brand that we have is called Four Marks Printing. We like to say it's one holy Catholic apparel company. It is so we have a t-shirt line that we have for the other brands, and we have world-class technology that allows us to print a lot of shirts in a short period of time. But we're also looking, well, how do we leverage our expertise in this area with the demand and the relationships that we already have in the Catholic Church. So we work with a lot of schools and parishes for fundraisers. People do custom socks for their schools or parishes. So we have these relationships, and we wanted to use the strength of our manufacturing arm to be able to serve the church in a unique way. And one thing that I realized working in the Catholic Church for many years is that people end up spending a lot of time on things like fundraisers and gear for the stuff or the events that they're going to, whether it's a mission trip or whatever it might be, that they didn't sign up to work in ministry to do that, right? They didn't sign up to because they really love putting on pancake breakfasts and car washes. So if we can take away some of those pain points so that people can get back to ministry, then we're excited about doing that for them.
Yeah, so you would people, any parishes or groups, whatever, around the country can call you up and be like, hey, we need custom designs for the things that we're doing, and that's something you guys want to do. Yeah,
everything from parish festival t-shirts all the way to you name it. We do some spirit stores for Catholic schools. We can help with design, the manufacturing process, and we all do it in this building with our team, and we get to see the whole process through and make sure it's a quality product that goes out our door.
Yeah, I think that's probably. I think that's my favorite part of it all is that you guys do it all here. This is all.
Yeah.
This isn't outsourced to other places where you're worrying about moral problems and all these different things. It's just completely done from these same good people of faith from start to finish and shipped out to you.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So that's great. Is there any future plans, any cool new things that you can talk about that you think that are things to look forward to?
Yeah, we have a couple of other brands that that are coming down the pipeline that I can't talk about just yet. Some of them are still in the works, but what we really hope to do is we've developed a lot of strength in making the back end kind of logistics of we say a lot of times that we're really good at putting socks in bags, but that kind of translates in a lot of different ways. But we hope to have a portfolio of brands that really serve the church in a unique way, and a lot of times people have come up with really great Catholic gift ideas, but they really don't like the business side of the equation. And we're pretty good at the business side of the equation, and we have the distribution part of that as well. So we're hoping to kind of grow and expand our line of brands and continue to expand our offerings on the print shop side as well. Yeah, and you guys, I feel like everywhere I go, any kind of Catholic shop that I go to, or like if there's a gift shop in a basilica or something, yeah,
I feel like I see your site. How far and wide is the brand? Where all are you guys? Yeah, we focus mainly in the United States. We don't do a whole lot of international distribution, but I think we're in about 275 to 300 Catholic gift shops and bookstores around the country. And that's just been a joy. I remember back in the early days, there was a lot to convince somebody that, yes, you should give up shelf space in your small Catholic gift shop for these socks, because there's some unknown there, right? But we've learned over the years that the bright, fun colors that you see in our socks, and you can't help to smile when you see them, because they're fun, they're something that people enjoy. And we've learned over the years that they sell, and especially in person in a gift shop or anywhere with traffic, when people see them, they don't stay on the shelves very long. So we've been able to kind of put a guarantee behind that we're happy to stand behind, and overcome some of those barriers to entry with people that weren't too excited about bringing socks into their shop at first. Yeah, so I'm assuming you get a lot of good feedback all the time. That's right. Yeah, so you're catching on. I have learned in my time here, there is no short of play on words here. Yeah, I don't know who comes up with all of it, but there are puns and plays on words for it seems everything. Yeah, we try to keep it fun. That's for sure. What was the first one that I thought of? One of the first ones? Oh, our Mother Teresa socks. We always say that you can Calcutta rug in those socks. And you guys just celebrated, a nice landmark and success. You want to tell us about that? Yeah. So this had been kind of building for a while, but we just hit our 100,000th order on the Sacrilegious website. So we got some balloons and some confetti cannons and celebrated with some our team and some donuts that day. Praise God! Yeah, that's fantastic. Is there what else is there to know about the brand, and why should people sign up for the Sock of the Month Club? Yeah, well, one, it's the best deal in town. We've kept that original pricing on the Sock of the Month Club because we're just excited to have those loyal customers that become our brand ambassadors as well. So one, it's a deal. But two, if keeping up with what we're doing, CatholicConcepts.com is kind of the hub where we kind of push people out to the different brands that we have. But we're here and we're excited to continue to try to use our unique abilities to serve the church in a way, and to respond by offering people more and more great Catholic gifts. And I think this is how, this is specifically geared in ways towards evangelization, and it is great. And I think this is really the way forward. And you guys have shown a great blueprint for it. This should be everything. Everything, we should have a market in every space where people can go and they know they're going to get a quality product by people of faith. And it's a way that, the way we spend money says a lot about us, where we're giving our money to, and then the company that we're giving it to, like, where are they going to give that money to? And whenever it's good, especially Catholic people, we know that money is just going to keep circulating for good things. And so I think that you guys have provided a nice blueprint, and that people should definitely take note of that, and people who want to be in other spaces should even reach out to you, do similar things, because that's what we need in the church, is these alternatives to these big name companies who in a lot of ways don't really care about customers, or if the product is all that great, or they're sending money to things that we would say are definitely immoral. And this is a great way to fight back against that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we a lot of people will say, like, your socks are evangelize. Like, the product itself isn't evangelize, but we're giving people the tools to evangelize. And how do you become holy, right? One of the key areas to do that is to surround yourself with holiness, holy people, reminders of holy products, reminders to live out the Great Commission in a unique way. So we do a lot of that through products. We give people more reminders to be holy, whether that's socks, apparel, clothes, things in your house, you name it. We want to be able to give people that space.
Yeah, and I know you'd probably never brag on this, but I was very impressed when you were telling me about how, I've heard it before, I'm sure a lot of people have, that with the homelessness problem is that one of the biggest things they need is socks. And you were saying how you guys devote a lot of downtime and all that to being able to provide local places with free socks that you're donating, just because that's a huge need, and that's a way that you guys really enjoy helping the community.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's not something we kind of blast out, but when we do have downtime on machines, and we have we end up with like extra yarn that we don't have a big future plans for, we'll turn the machines back on, just build some basic socks, and donate them to there's a couple places here in town that put them to real good use for our local homeless community. But then also we have some other socks that what we call like less than perfect socks, that they're still socks that you can wear, but they might have some minor imperfections. And like I said before, we sell a high-end quality product, and we expect that final product that we're sending out the door is going to be that. So if there's a small defect, but it's still a wearable sock, what we end up doing is we bring in some volunteers from local high schools. We pair them up with like socks, and then we work with Cross Catholic Outreach, and they send them in their boxes of joy to countries around, or third world countries that need them. So
yeah, beautiful. So yeah, if you need socks, t-shirts, mugs, stickers, all those things, come to Catholic Concepts, and then whatever else is next. But it's been a great joy. Thank you so much for all you do, and I hope God continues to bless you guys.
Thanks for coming to visit. Appreciate it.